And hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to Blacksmiths Church. All six of you currently. Seven. I don't watch the real count. No. Eric. Hello, hello. What up, Trail Dust? Yep. Not a lot of people like to hang out, but in the pre-show, it's weird. What's up, Carnage, Mick Chu, and the other lurkers that are out there? How do? We got a science-heavy show today. I'll tell you that much. Metal of the week is going to be iron, and there's a lot of information that Sully is just super excited about sharing with you guys. So when we get into that, it'll be science. What's up, Steve?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Glad you could make it. Yeah. I know I said yesterday during my live I was going to try to leave the science and the isotopes out of today's discussion, just because it's like I know that bores the shit out of all of you guys, and I feel like I'm the only one that finds it interesting. But after doing my research and figuring out where I want to go with it, I mean, like, there's just no way around it. So y'all are gonna have to deal with about 3 minutes of isotopes and the different implications thereof. So bear with me.
Yeah.
I find that stuff fascinating, and I can't not share it. So
yeah. When we get to it,
when we get to that point, you can just tune me out.
Pay attention.
Like what usually happens when I talk. So
take notes. There will be tests.
Yeah, there will be a test later.
What's up, Steve, Robert, Paul? How y'all doing? Isotopes are the best kind of topes. Sorry, I had to modify that, Trail Dust. But yeah, how was your week there, Sully? It sounds like you had
my week was
fun night last night too.
Oh yeah. My week was pretty good. I wound up working about 3 days worth, 55 hours. So I had a little bit of time off here and there. Come in Thursday, and they're like, "Yeah, we got no work till Monday." So I originally I was just going to kick it there at the yard, save gas money and whatnot, and I wound up in a situation trying to download a video editing program over my hotspot that was going to take 22 hours. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. So I packed up my computer and I went to the house and downloaded it in 20 minutes. And my daughter's like, hey, we're all headed to Fort Worth. You want to go? I was like, I got nothing going on. Why not? And so we drove up here to Fort Worth to go hang out with some family and barbecue and drink and raise hell. And I went to bed about 2:00 this morning. I was last person standing.
Always.
As is usually the case, I will say, because even when we get together at our get-togethers, I am compelled to be the last one awake.
Yeah, yeah, and that, it's like I'm usually one of the first ones down. I used to be the same way. Like I used to have trouble sleeping when other people are awake. Like even if I'm not around them, like if I know they're awake, I have trouble sleeping. And now it's like, y'all go ahead.
I'm the same way, and I told them last night. I was like, y'all don't feel compelled to stay up because I'm up, because I cannot go to sleep until everybody else is asleep. It's just the way it goes. I was like, when we're to get together, I go to bed about between 4 and 5 in the morning. Maybe 45 minutes after the last person checks out, and then I get up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
And it amazes me that, like, I'll spend a week in Ohio, and I'll sleep 3 hours a day every day I'm there. and then I get back, and I'm like, man, I had a freaking great time. That was amazing. I feel great, But usually we're a little sad because we left. But
yeah. Hey, Dylan, what's up, Dana? I'd like to check it. Side note, quick ask for the community watching. The Metal of the Week background. I did some tweaks on it. What do y'all like it? What do y'all think? Made it a bit darker, a little grungier, and it's. I could do a before and after, if anybody remembers. I know this is a weird little thing, but I'm kind of proud of it, you know. And yeah. Just see what y'all think. The difference. Nice, right? Yeah. But anyway, it sounds like a fun week. I actually had I had a decent week too. We had a lot of quick jobs. I mean, a whole bunch of quick jobs, and got a bunch of stuff done that needed to get done out in the field. Finished up a couple jobs. Did the prelim starts on another couple of jobs. Kind of setting the stage for another busy few weeks, and yeah, I like the darker one too, Dylan. So, and nothing ends, a nice week like a big old storm, and that's going to lead into this little bit of info, which I'll probably repeat again throughout the show, just so that everybody hears it and gets it, because I like everybody to know it's. We got a nice big old storm, and it is like 40-mile-an-hour winds. The rain's coming in sideways, and as you guys know, currently I am running a cord across my yard to run my internet in my shop, and I have to unroll that and re-roll that up before and after every show. Can't leave it, and I have to leave the doors open because I've put down mothballs to keep snakes from creating a den in my shop, and that's kind of you need to have the ventilation going, and the roll doors up in order to be in there. Otherwise, you get sick. So with the storm, I can't have the roll doors up. So my show tonight will probably, unfortunately, be from here on the couch. And anybody who is in a position to or would like to join in on video of them forging, you're more than welcome to. But it's probably just going to be another sit-down hour with Yamez later today. I got the windows open, and it's just, wow. Or not open, but the blinds open. I can see out. So yeah. Again, I'll probably repeat that again throughout the show today. But yeah. I was really looking forward to working on that snake. I was going to split the jaw, or I was going to shape the head, split the jaw. Do some detail, do some, eye punching. I was going to attempt some fangs. Yeah, I got some plans for it, but either way.
See, Kevin brought up, forging on the couch with Yamez. They could be forgetting to forge with Yamez.
Yeah, forgetting with Yamez. Don't you mean forging?
Yeah, there you go.
No. Good morning, Matt.
Well, forget that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just storms. I could show you guys we're under gale warning because we're coastal, so there's like it's just a coastal storm right now, and the wind is insane. Oh, it's slowed down a bit. Right now it's 23 miles an hour. 24 miles an hour.
Oh, good morning, Matthew.
Oh, 25. Sorry. What's up? But yeah, so it's
Hey, the couch looks flammable. Let me tell you something. If you ain't ever lit a couch on fire,
you ain't never lived.
It'll scare the crap out of you. I lit a couch on fire, and flames were coming up either side of the bridge. Scared the crap out of us.
You know how many? Do you have any idea how many I've lit a couch on fire stories I've heard?
No,
I would love
I
to
do
light a
not.
couch on fire. Almost every group I've ever hung out with throughout my life has always had oh yeah, we lit a couch on fire, and I never have.
Matthew Gale was that chemist in Breaking Bad that Aaron Paul had to shoot. You know.
Yeah. Standing here alone. Oh. Okay, but yeah, if Sailor Jerry is there, I'll forget with you. You know, I don't have any rum. I've got like maybe one or two shots of my moonshine left, so it won't be a particularly interesting couch show.
Yeah, I moved on from Sailor Jerry to Captain Morgan Black.
Oh,
It's just a wee bit smoother.
ugh,
What do you mean, ugh?
ugh. Cap,
Ugh,
Cap,
that is quality rum right there.
Captain Morgan and quality don't belong in the same sentence.
Now you shut your mouth.
No, you shut yours. You shut yours and put something better than Captain Morgan in it. That sounds dirty, but it's not meant to be. What's up, Michael? What's up, John? I can't.
Morning, Daniel. I see you there.
Take it from a pirate. No real pirate would get caught dead drinking Captain Morgan.
Daniel, you on your way to Mineral Wells yet, or what?
You want to try some good rum? Get 10 Cane's. 10 Cane's good rum. Yeah, 10 Cane's some dang good rum.
Matthew, we're not talking about cast iron. We're not talking about wrought iron. We're talking about elemental iron, and
what's up,
the
Robert?
way it's various interactions with things. So that'll be what we're covering.
Yeah. You know, fun stuff about grog there, Bobby. Grog, the original recipe and use for grog is actually kind of interesting. And I know this has nothing to do with blacksmithing. You know what? Let's talk rums and grogs during tonight's show. Let's do that. You know what? I'll go more into it. But I don't want to tease you guys. Grog was actually originally it was rum, dirty water, or stale water, and lime. Okay, and all sailors back in the days of the wooden boats and stuff were given, rum rations, and the rum being an alcohol to kill the bacteria in the water that they had to drink, that they stored on the boat. And they would throw lime in it to, help try to do something about the flavor. But grog was basically diluted rum with lime, and all of that was to kill the bacteria, to fight scurvy, etc. So
I want to point out, Dylan Corwin kind of nailed that. John Brunel just and making us all look bad while we're sitting around doing nothing and just shooting the breeze.
Yeah. But making hammers, making hammers. I'm making friends. Whoa! I'm making memories.
With come on now, that's a bit far-fetched there.
Now I know, Sully, you make your own rum, right?
Not running. I thought you said running. I was like,
yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'll give myself a black eye. Hey, Bill. I don't remember. But yeah, I'd rather make hammers. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't made a hammer in a while. I ought to do that. But yeah, so Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll go into the history of rums and all that stuff and how it's, the best rum is actually drunk warm. Uh, you know, yeah. But back to blacksmithing. Did you all see Roy's uh, his candle holder thingy that he did with his Thomas Latine homework piece? That was freaking amazing, you know. But I think he put up pictures of it. I could pull them up. I think he did. I thought he did. He did not. It's the piece. It's what he finished from this piece. I'm sure he'll pop in and, impress us all by throwing pictures up. But anyway, aside from the announcement that I'm not going to be in my shop tonight for my show, I don't. Yeah, I think we can kind of meander our way towards the middle of the week, and because I think you've teased it enough that it's not about a brick of iron, so to speak, but iron itself in its purest form.
Sure. So are we ready to rock and roll on that then?
I think we're ready to rock and roll on Metal of the Week.
All right. So let me just read my. Oh boy, this is a long one. Sure. Iron is element number 26. Yeah, that's all I got. Anybody else got?
Yeah. It's element number 26. All right, that's it. Any questions?
It by mass, it is the most common element on Earth, comprising about 32% of the mass of the entire planet. And
if I may,
but on the surface, it is the fourth most common element.
Yeah, just before it would be the element of surprise.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you threw me off there. But, you got me with the element of surprise. Now, in its metallic state, iron is fairly rare in the Earth's crust, and its deposition is mostly from metallic meteorites. Iron nickel meteorites is where most of the metallic iron in Earth's crust comes from, or on the surface, what have you. What else? Man, I am trying not to just read the page and just kind of like pick out highlights here. But when was it?
Well, you write it all out, but you write it all out as information, and
right. Well,
I think
humans.
I think a natural
humans started
break.
mastering the process of smelting iron about the second millennium BC, so about 4,000 years ago. And the use of iron tools began replacing copper. And so about 1200 BC is what is considered the transition from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the majority of tooling shifted from copper alloys to iron alloys. So we've been working with iron for 3 millennia now.
The advent of the blacksmith.
Yeah. So the it's
hey Adam,
Christine. What?
I was saying hi to Adam.
Oh yeah. Adam popped in.
Yeah.
Hi Adam. Interestingly enough, the body of an adult human contains about 4 grams of iron, mostly in the form of hemoglobin and myoglobin. Without which, of course, we cannot live. And the way that Sure, use your words. The way that cyanide kills you is the hydrogen cyanide replaces the hemoglobin in your blood, and you basically suffocate to death from hypoxia.
Right.
Oh, and I bet that is not fun. I'm just saying. So when it gets down into the more interesting, of course, iron, being the most common element on Earth, is also the most common element in the material we work with. It's the main alloying component in every aspect of steel, whether that is a chromium steel, a molybdenum steel, or a carbon steel, a nickel steel, doesn't matter. Or even if you throw in a whole bunch more carbon and a whole bunch more nickel and manganese and make cast iron. Because even cast iron is useful in certain situations. I'm pretty sure I've talked about in the past where I just take pieces of cast iron and cut them up on the bandsaw to make cast iron powder to throw in my pattern welded steel, because the carbon migration does wonderful things for a pattern. So iron in that respect. Now, cast iron is obviously not elemental iron, and elemental iron, about the only place you're going to find pure elemental iron is meteorite samples,
Right.
because they're very much unalloyed. Now they tend to be a mixture. Like you'll have little chunks of this and little chunks of that and little chunks of this. But the iron that is in there tends to be mostly unalloyed, except with nickel. There are certain meteorites that are heavy in nickel, where you get like 30% iron by weight, and the rest is like nickel and other stuff. Those are nickel iron meteorites. And then there are the ones that are techites, or I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, because I'm not just reading it. I am trying to off the cuff this from what I already read. But the other type of metallic meteorite is about 90 to 92% iron by weight, and the iron is typically not alloyed, because those tend to be low nickel. Okay.
Yeah, I would
Now,
think that if pause and comment, I would think that the one reason why meteorites wouldn't be alloyed, or would have less of a chance to alloy, as opposed to, say, iron found here on Earth, is it hasn't gone through that process of heat and mix and time and pressure as the planet was formed. So it being a pure form, because it hasn't gone through all that. So whereas the iron in the Earth has had a millennia to become what we see now.
well,
Or I'm completely wrong.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, iron has 4 stable isotopes: iron 54, iron 56, iron 57, and iron 58. There are 20 to 30 artificial isotopes that have been lab created. And of these, only 57 has a nuclear spin of -1/2. I know that nothing to anybody, but the nickel. I keep wanting to say nickel over Fe, but iron 54 can undergo double electron capture and turn into chromium 54, which is quite fascinating in my opinion. Because that iron can, grab 2 electrons off of something else and turn into chromium. The process has never been observed, but it's only theoretical. Iron 60 is an extinct radionucleotide of long half-life, 2.6 million years. It is not found on Earth, but its ultimate decay product is its granddaughter, the stable nucleus of nickel 60. So all of nickel 60 originally was iron 60, and it rapidly decayed into nickel. An ore formation, the last decade advanced detection and quantification of minute naturally occurring variations in the ratios of stable isotopes of iron. Much of this work is driven by the Earth and planetary science communities, although applications to biological and industrial systems are emerging. In phases of the meteorites Semakarna and Chervoni-Kut, a correlation between the concentration of nickel-60, the granddaughter of iron-60, and the abundance of the stable iron isotopes provided evidence for the existence of iron-60 at the time of the formation of the solar system. Possibly the energy released by the decay of iron-60, along with that released by aluminum-26, contributed to the remelting and differentiation of asteroids after their formation 4.6 billion years ago. The abundance of nickel-60 present in extraterrestrial material may bring further insight into the origin and early history of our solar system. The most abundant isotope, iron-56, is particularly interesting because it represents the most common endpoint of nucleosynthesis. Since nickel-56, which contains 14 alpha particles, is easily produced from lighter nuclei in the alpha process and nuclear reactions in supernova, it is the end point of fusion chains inside extremely massive stars. Since addition of another alpha particle resulting in 60 zinc requires a great deal more energy, this nickel-56, which has a half-life of about 6 days, is created in quantity in these stars, but soon decays by 2 successive positron emissions within supernova decay products in the supernova remnant gas cloud. First to radioactive cobalt-56, then to stable iron-56. As such, iron is the most abundant element in the core of red giants and is the most abundant metal in iron meteorites and in the dense metal cores of planets such as Earth. It is also very common in the universe relative to other stable metals, approximately the same atomic weight. Iron is the 6th most abundant element in the universe and the most common refractory element. And the last little bit, although a further tiny energy gain, 62, which has a marginally higher binding energy than 56 iron, conditions in stars are unsuitable for this process. Element production in supernova and distribution on Earth greatly favor iron over nickel, and in any case, iron-56 still has a lower mass per nucleon than nickel-62 due to its higher fraction of lighter protons. Hence, elements heavier than iron require a supernova for their formation involving rapid neutron capture by iron-56 nuclei. So, basically, and I know there was what the actual F is he talking about going on there, but the point of getting to that is that every element heavier than iron. Okay, so I used to think that as soon as a star starts to form iron, it goes supernova. And I was incorrect. I learned last night that when a star tries to fuse 2 iron nuclei together, that's when it goes supernova, because it takes more energy than it takes more energy than it releases, and that triggers a supernova reaction. And then in the milliseconds ensuing that first attempted synthesis of iron into a heavier element, in the next few milliseconds, the ensuing compression of the core causes the iron nucleus, the nuclei of the iron elements, to rapidly absorb neutrons and instantly turn into everything heavier than element number 26. So the next 100 elements in the chain are created in less than half a second. And it just depends on how many neutrons each one of those nuclei collect. I mean, this one could be gold, that one could be lead, this one over here is platinum, that one's uranium, and then of all of the radioactive isotopes of everything, they will all eventually decay down into lead. And that is the end of the science segment. Sorry for boring you guys, but I found it so fascinating I could not resist.
Right. No, it is. It's like a little sneak peek into the creation of what we now know of the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, I one of the things I find fascinating about it is basically the base element of the material that we work with on, for the most part, a daily basis, is basically responsible for the creation of our universe. Because at the end of the day, I mean, our known universe, not necessarily the entire universe as a whole, but like our universe, meaning, our solar system, our Earth, our own little section of our galaxy and our planetary system, whatever, is that without the creation of iron causing a star to go supernova, there's no, crunchy stuff laying around to coalesce into planets. First generation stars did not really have planets because there was nothing but helium, hydrogen, and lithium were the only three elements in existence at the time. And so everything heavier than that was made. Well, not everything, but a lot of the heavier elements were made immediately thereafter in the first generation stars, and they spewed their guts out into the universe, and then shock waves compress the gas, make more stars, and this process repeats over and over. And so like our sun is a third generation star. It contained, and our solar system contains the remnants of two previous generations of supernova. And as the generations, ahead in further generations, will have more and more and more concentrations of heavier elements, because every time a star goes supernova, it makes more heavy elements. And even though like our sun contains a certain amount of those heavy elements, because some of those things condense down with the hydrogen gas as well. So we work with iron, albeit alloyed with different elements to make it workable and useful, whether that's as an art piece or a sculpture or a knife or whatever the heck you want it to be. And that iron is a part of the reason we're here, and we can't live without it.
Yeah. Steven asked, so do we get lithium batteries from outer space? I think we get lithium batteries from lithium mines.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Because you mentioned lithium and everything, all the elements.
Oh, I mentioned lithium because it's created during the Big Bang, where hydrogen, helium, and lithium. Yeah. Trace amounts of lithium at that. So it's all, everything beyond those three is created during a supernova or during the fusion process of the star, not necessarily during a supernova.
Right.
Everything up to iron is created during the normal life cycle of the star, and everything heavier than iron is at the end point. But here nor there, there is I don't know, there's a fair bit of lithium on Earth. It's not like helium. Helium is actually helium is the rarest element on Earth, because helium is light enough to escape gravity. So like when you release a helium balloon, the reason it eventually sinks is because the helium nuclei are so small that they can pass through the gaps in the atoms in the balloon, and so the helium slowly just like goes right through it.
No kidding.
And that helium, when it escapes that balloon, it is now in the atmosphere, and it is so light that it actually escapes Earth's gravity and goes out into space. And so the only sources of helium on Earth are from radioactive decay. They are isotopes of helium that are released with I believe it's alpha decay of certain heavy elements, and that's where helium is actually produced through that process on Earth. It doesn't exist, and there's no it's not like natural gas where you drill down and you find a reserve of helium. It doesn't really work like that, at least not to my knowledge. It is you drill down into an area where that's heavy in uranium deposits and plutonium and americunium and stuff like that, and as a byproduct of being in that area, helium gas is produced by the decay of those radioactive elements. So, and that's the only way that we get helium. And then we use it for the dumbest stuff, like balloons.
Yeah. Or making our voice sound funny.
Right. Because hydrogen is of course, you don't really want to have hydrogen-filled balloons. That could get scary.
I don't know, man.
Oh, the humanity!
Huge manatees. Oh.
Anyways, boy, I got sideways on that that thing, but.
Yeah, Stephen, there are tree batteries. There is a trace electrical currents in trees. Absolutely. And if you consider a tree a plant...
Oh, come on. Do you remember making a potato clock?
I was just going to say, potatoes are kind of trees. Possum Sausage finally joined the Forge chat. Welcome, Possum Sausage.
Right on, man.
Can't sneak in there without us knowing. We get alerts.
So now, as the iron applies to blacksmithing, we all understand that iron is the main component of steel that we work with. And I'm kind of curious now. I have not tried to work a meteorite because honestly, those things are out of my price range. I mean, like,
right.
I do, but there is no way. I mean, no way I'm sticking them in a forge. I mean, because, I mean, to me, I mean, like, I own a rock that's 4.357 billion years old, exactly, plus or minus 100,000 years. And, I mean,
well, then it's not exactly.
Well, okay, plus or minus 100,000 years. That's pretty darn close, okay? I mean, that is some really seriously accurate dating right there, just because we know the actual age of these rocks. But, and now I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Yanez. Oh yeah, I am not gonna put one of those meteorites in and see what happens. But to be fair, I don't have my soundboard. I have to fake that today. I do believe that my meteorites are chondrites. I don't believe I have any iron meteorites. They're all rocky, I believe. I have not cut them open to check, and I don't plan to. They're in their little containers that they were in when I bought them, and they're going to stay that way. But I have thought, I should buy a chunk of meteorite, because there are some out there that's fairly affordable. But, I mean, still, I'm buying a chunk of meteorite for $200 that's, if I were able to forge it, it would be interesting. But I think in order to make it forgeable, because I remember watching the Alex Steele video where he tried to forge the meteorite, and it just kept coming apart on him. And I think and I've seen other people successfully forge a meteorite though. But I think if I were going to do it, I would eliminate any chance of screwing that up, and I would actually cast it first. I would melt it down in a crucible and then cast it into a usable shape to further forge from there.
Yeah.
Because I think that would take out all of because the iron in meteorites exists in about 3 different crystalline structures, and you really have to get them in a liquid state, in my opinion, and get all of them into the same crystalline structure, and in which case, and then it becomes forgeable, because unless you do that, the 3 different crystalline structures within that meteorite are going to react differently to heat and pressure.
Yeah, which would crumble it.
Yeah, crumbling, exactly. And so I've never tried to forge a meteorite, if somebody's cool enough to send me a meteorite to forge it, by golly, I will cast it and forge it. But until then, when I strike it rich, maybe I'll buy one myself and do that. I mean, there's the name of our little
thing.
Yeah, let me not go there yet. But I don't want to
I hear
put stuff
you.
out there that's going to lead to other things that I've got planned in the works. That I don't want somebody else jumping on.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, so I think we've all seen a meteorite forging video or two. Now, would anybody like to kind of chime in with can you think of anything that you have done with iron as it comes to blacksmithing, whether that's cast iron or using rust? Like, hey, let's mix some rust and aluminum and make thermite. I mean, like, hey, that's always fun. I mean, who doesn't like thermite? When your girlfriend makes you mad or whatever and breaks up with you, you catch her cheating on you, you just take a little soup can of thermite and set it out on the hood of her car and light it on fire. Walk away.
Oh, you went a lot nicer than I would have.
A disclaimer: I am not encouraging you to do that, because incurring property damage for that stuff, not me.
Yeah, we're not allowed to incite you guys to do crime.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And now you can put a soup can of thermite on your, but I can save you the wonder. There are, and in fact, I think MythBusters cut a car in half with thermite, but and that was a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Can you paint
So
thermite on?
so can yeah, I mean, like, so everybody else, what can you for uses of iron? Whether that's
I gotta go
and
unlock the
I'm
door.
explicitly talking about just elemental iron, i.e., meteorites, or iron oxide or cast iron. I mean, because I mean that's about as iron as we can get, or even iron ore, black sand. You know, like is used in what do you call them? Gosh darn it, what do you call it when you build that clay thing and then drop the sand and the coal in it, the black sand and the coal? I'm an idiot. I cannot think of it. Somebody help me out, and because I'm not even on the chat right now, which I'm going back to, and there it is. Nothing.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, and I still can't come up. Oh, a bloom, doing an iron bloom. Gosh darn it, man, that took me. Anyways, yeah. So, what's everybody else's thoughts on iron or experience with iron and all that? And I will shut up and quit being a microphone hog.
That's all right. Yeah, I've got the breezeway doors had the breezeway doors all locked up because the wind is just slamming it against the side of my building. So and Jeannie just pulled up, and there's no way to open it from the outside, so I had to go and unlock it. But does the wear on Yama's couch look like flames? I hate this couch. I love it, but hate it. I need something comfortable. I need to just buy a new couch. New, not this. This was one of those. I'll trade you a couple oyster knives. They were gonna throw it away, and I got it.
Do you have a sidewalk couch, Jan?
No, it's not a sidewalk couch. This was from somebody's house. One of my customers, he was getting rid of it, and it was from a rental property, and I cleaned it up as best as I could, and he got rid of it because it's flaking. But like those little flakes get everywhere.
Oh yeah, they do.
I'm so sick of it. I'm so tired of it. What's up, Mountain Home Forge? What's up, Ben Toombs? Bortgov? But on interesting things you can do with iron and powdered stuff like that. And I saw somebody take they got their grinder for their bench grinder and everything, and the little stalagmites.
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, I
saw them put that in a canister, and forge it, and turned out pretty cool. Had a really neat pattern because of all the different dusts in it. Yeah, what's going on in there? That's a party.
Yeah, that's still going on. Sorry.
Yeah. No, don't apologize. I love the sound of life. Paul, no, I'm not going to set this couch on fire because I don't want to clean up the mess afterwards. Plus, there's a lot of synthetics. It would more melt than anything else. But no, I'll probably take a Sawzall to it and cut it in half and throw it in the dumpster. Like I did my other couch. If you guys remember way back in the day, I had my blue couch. Yeah, I cut that in half. Actually, I saved the back sheet of the blue microfiber. I saved, and eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another color, and I'm going to do like micarta with it. Yeah. So I'm going to play with that. I specifically saved. It's about 3 foot by 6 foot sheet of that, and I'm gonna cut it up into strips and play with, my card. I'd probably do that plus, dark blue jean or black jeans or something, and get a real cool pattern going.
Okay.
I got an idea to like carve out wood pattern, like a wood ripples or wood, take the presses, where you press it together, carve those into a design, and then press it so that it like waves the inside of it, and then as you sand it, it'll come out like Damascus-y. I just a thought I had to try, and it's like I want to get into it, but I just haven't. I'm not a knife maker, so I don't have a need for handle scales, but I've always been interested in that aspect of creating them. So, but it's like, and there's so many. I don't want to dilute the market. There's so many, handle scales for sale. Like, what would, I guess just being super creative and making them and selling them. But
well, see, and I've kind of come into a situation here, because I do because mesquite is a very beautiful wood, and it does quite a bit more than just make good food. It is the primary wood that we have down around. You can find some con trees here and there, but mostly everything is mesquite.
right,
And so I've gotten into a situation where I've had a lot of people asking me to rehandle their knives with custom mesquite, whether they're dyed this color or that color, but stabilized mesquite handle scales. And when you especially when you get a piece of wood because mesquite's got two colors, it's both a white and a dark red, because the dark red is in the core. And when you can cut a piece out that's got a little bit of both, it's like half red and half white, it really makes some interesting contrasting scales, just as it is, just plain, undyed. And
then if you dye it, that white turns the color.
Well, actually, see, the last one I did, because all of my stabilizing liquid already has dye in it. I did not have any clear. So I had to color it, and I have 3 buckets of I think it's called 303 or something like that. It's not cactus juice. It's a competitor. But I've got a bucket of red, a bucket of blue, and a bucket of purple. And so I just ran it through the pressure pot, and in one end red, and I did the other end, and then I dipped half of that blue end in the purple and did it again. And then, I cooked it in my little toaster oven, and then, I made this lady this 75-year-old knife. This thing used to be like a full-size kitchen knife, and now it's like a boning knife. It is so small. It's been sharpened down to nothing. But when I got it, it had the original wooden handle on it, which was rotted like all the way through. You could just like pull pieces of wood off of the handle, but it was wrapped in duct tape to hold it together. And inside that duct tape, of course, it was all jam-packed with like food and debris, and it was really gross. But I packed a new handle onto it, and came out pretty decent. I like to say. Now the 85-year-old lady that said knife, I have heard rumor that it might be a little bit, because I went back with the original thickness, and I've heard rumor that it might be a little bit too wide for her, and she may want me to take it down a little bit. And then I've had an offer for a few other knives to rehandle, so I'm actually having a good time, throwing on new handles out of mesquite.
I was gonna say, I've got a blade that I'm working on that I need a handle for, and the only reason I haven't done it yet is because it's got to be good, because for who it's going to be for. And I don't trust my ability. So if you do handles, it's a mutual friend of ours, Sully.
Okay.
And I could split, because I'm intending it as a gift, but it will very likely he'll very likely send me something for it, and I could split that with you if you do the handle.
Whatever. I'll just get it to me one way or another, and I can handle it.
Yeah. Or if I sit and
or yeah.
The only handle material I have that I'd be comfortable. Ideally, I'd like it to be like that's one of the reasons I want to do my Carta is because it's like I want to like make a handle for this because the colors are blue and orange, you know, and it's like that. I think that'd be wild. But I mean,
Yeah, okay, I'm with you there now.
yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Um,
Yeah, that told me all I needed to know. Blue and orange. Yeah, I got it.
yeah. uh, but I mean, this I could actually share the test etch for this blade into the Discord and show you guys. Because while I know that this particular person he's already seen it, so it's not a big deal. No, that's wrong chat. That would have been weird. There I am. Forge, add file. It's right here. Loading, and then I'll show you guys. But yeah, it would be cool to have a good handle on that, and it's like I have no idea where to begin. But I want it to be a good handle, not like you know,
Right.
not like just I've got Purple Heart and that's about it. I got Purple Heart. I got some unstabilized burl and some questionable, I guess what's called bloodwood. I don't know. It says bloodwood on it. And then that's about it. That's about all I have for handle material. Morning, Curtis. Dylan, I'll discuss that here in a second. Let me show you guys this. It's loading. Give it a chance to buffer and load. Look at that pattern. Right?
I'm going to be temporarily indisposed, so with you in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah. And as for the Maker's Mark Journal, right now, Mr. Coffee has it. John Coffee has it. He's been going to several hammer-ins and collecting touch marks on it. Once it gets back to me, then I will probably start phase 2, where I start sending it out to you guys. And that's when I think it'll really get started. Because when I send it out, the idea would be you hit it, and hit it, take a picture or a video, upload it to the Forge Around the World Facebook page, and then move it on. Whether through the page you find somebody who would like to take it, or if you know somebody who would like to take it, and move on from it'll probably move a lot faster through the community now. So it still exists. It is still getting stamped, just quietly right now. But yeah, yeah, Dylan, I don't want like a pallet wood handle on it. I want it to be as unique as this etch. Yeah. But uh, but yeah. Oh, he had to mute himself. Sully's muted. So Sully can hear us, but we can't hear him. If you shh, listen, listen for the plop. No, back anyway. So, uh, I feel bad. I feel real bad now. Um, but yeah. So, like I said, I don't do knives a lot, but when I do, I try to I try to do them unique, you know. The karambit that I did before, the Damascus karambit that I did before, and then this blade, just it's like the shape of it. It's literally it's like a giant straight razor, you know. It doesn't have any curve, any point. It's a knife, you know. It's a uh, an edge, you know. So whether that's whatever this person decides to use it for, it'll be like a good little chopper, you know, or like I don't know, chop some herbs. I don't know, but yeah. Next one I do probably next year will probably be I don't know. Something weird, something different. Um, something that a bladesmith would be like. That's a silly blade, you know. Exactly, Stephen. It's like when I get asked, do you do knives? It's like, well, I can, I just don't, you know. Uh, and this is one reason is it takes me forever to do one because I just don't have the the drive to finish it, you know. So I mean, I'm not against making knives. I'm not anti blades. I think they're cool. I think they're nice, and I think you can make really cool art pieces out of them. But I'm not a I'm not real big on spending all that time away from the fire, you know, standing at the grinder, you know. And it takes a certain amount of skill that the fine detail that it's like, ah, you know. Yeah. Handles, tight, clean connections, make it comfortable in the hand, mix almost any material for aesthetic appeal. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of playing with aesthetics, you know, which is why anytime I'll do a knife or any sort of a blade, it will be Damascus because I like the aesthetic of it. Um, you know, because when I make one, I make it for the look of it, not necessarily the utility of it. You know, I'm definitely when it comes to blades, when I do them, it's definitely form over function. But believe it or not, I mean, it's not hard to believe because it's basically just a bar that I've shaped and ground. Um, you know, it took me so far less time to make that Damascus than it did to get to this point of sanding and cleaning. You know, shaping that karambit from back in the day that I believe Jeff Kren has. Uh, it it's definitely it's like 20 minutes of forging, and that was only because I punched a hole in it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of borax in that, by the way. Selbert showing off the custom emojis. Custom emojis that you can get if you join the channel memberships, and as we found out earlier this week, or last week, or earlier this week, or whenever, one of the new benefits that you get for being a channel member is access to test videos and test live streams, things that won't make things that if I'm testing something, or if me and Sully are testing something, or me, Sully, and Adam are testing something, we would set to private just for the testing aspect of it. Instead of doing that, we're going to be setting it to members only, so that a little peek behind the scenes. Is it thrilling documentation and everything? Is it a thrilling, super awesome video? By no means at all. It typically be us sitting here going, echo, test 1, test 2, but
yeah, let me try this sound effect. Let me try that sound effect.
Yeah.
Let me see. How does this? Is the volume levels on this?
Yeah.
It's fun I think it's interesting from a production standpoint, but I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, it's a neat little thing that, let's do it. And how big is the Bubba Club? I think 5 members. I think I've got 5 members. Let me go in and take a look in my studio and see what's I got. I don't even know where to look for that.
Yeah, we've got I think 3 pork butts in the smoker right now.
Total members 5 members.
Here in about 2 hours.
Yep. Total members 5 members. Nice, no cancellations. You guys are awesome. So.
Yeah, see, and that's I kind of have the same problem with knives is I love forging it, but as soon as it's finished forged, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I have 0 F's to give about going any further than that. Like I don't like grinding, I don't like sanding, I don't like all of it. It just every bit of it beyond the forging part I find tedious and boring. So
right,
I make I think I'm about theory. I'm at 1 knife a year.
Yeah. But when you do, you take your time and make it right.
It's not like I sit down. Yeah, it's not like I sit down and do that in a day or 2 days. No, it takes me all year to make that knife.
Because you work on it, and then you get sick of it, and you pick it up later, and then you get sick of it, and yeah.
Yeah, I grab it about every 6 weeks to 2 months and do an hour's worth of work on it, and then put it back on the shelf and be like, all right, screw that.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't understand how people, it is so mind-numbing. I just don't understand how anyone makes knives or swords. It's like, man.
Solely knives and swords.
I find it mind-numbing,
Yeah.
and I mean, like, I can't speak for anyone else, but I mean, like, that's why I can't do it. And, and I literally had a guy come in the other day into my shop and say, hey, man, and he said, I didn't quite hear him because over the rumble of his diesel pickup, but he said, do you do knife sets? And I was like, knives? What kind of knife? He's like a set of kitchen knives. I was like, oh, hell no. He's like, why not? And he's like, well, how long does it take you to make a knife? I was like, about a year. And he's like, oh, so it'd take you like 10 years. I was like, yeah. Not doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at him. I said, now, if you want a hammer, I can have you one done tomorrow.
Right. And that's the thing, it's like logging and keeping track of the hours you put into a knife when you don't do knives regularly. It's like, I tell people who want a knife from me, because there are people in my area who absolutely want me to make them knives, and it's like they're like, I want a knife from, I don't know, Ford, and it's like, I want a locally made knife, and I'm like, I mean, that's well and good, but the price that I would have to charge for the time that I put into it, because I'm not a specialized knife maker, would be insane compared to getting the same knife from somebody who is geared towards that. And it's like, I'm like, I can't even entertain a price right now because it's just, you'd have to basically buy my interest in doing it. You have to pay me to find it, to offset the tedium that I feel about it. And I, in no way, shape, or form, am putting down or intend to put down any blade maker. You know, it is an amazing skill. It takes amazing talent, an eye for detail. You know,
Yeah, it's something I do not have.
exactly. It's like it takes a steady hand and knowledge, and it's like I always do an Appleseed grind on any edged thing because it's just easier. It's a cheat mode. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, and I would say, I make a knife on occasion, and I like the only one that I've finished in the last year has been that the carbon fiber one. And I mean, like, well, okay, it's not quite finished. I've still got to do the inlay, whatever. But Jesus, I mean, just in materials, I mean, like I got $360 worth of materials in that thing already. Not even counting the stuff that I just bought for the inlay. But yeah, I mean, who's gonna buy a knife that is not even like, I mean, yes, it will cut a steak. I did a video on that. I ate my steak with it, but and cut up fruit. But I mean, it's a Bowie knife. I mean, are you going to go out there and if you go out there and whack it on a, oops, I didn't know that was going to break.
Right.
Yeah, that's not what it's for. It's by no means a competition, anything. It's just an original art piece that happens to be able to cut.
Yes.
And for what I got in it, I'm hoping when I finally get it done here in the next couple of weeks, and whenever DAR releases their NFT marketplace,
oh my goodness.
If that ever happens, I mean, we at this rate, I'm thinking we may have to build our own.
Right.
Well, not we, y'all, but
yeah. But speaking of all of that and the detail and coming up with aesthetic designs, the stamps that I use to put on this blade, I'm wondering if I were to get some copper powder and heat it. I see that wouldn't work because it's Damascus, so I would be etching the copper, and that would be bad for the acid. I was going to say heat it and melt some copper into the emblems. How cool would that look?
The way you would want to do that, well, I mean, I don't think with proper.
Yeah, I'd have to chisel in undercuts so that it holds.
Yes.
Yeah, and I ain't going through all that nonsense. As cool as that would be, I ain't going through that. But anyway.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. Anyways.
I digress. Another topic for the later shows, talking about my blade.
Right.
But I'm trying to read through the chat. Pallets and knives and handles, and what have we turned into?
Right? I mean, you'd almost think we were a blacksmithing show or something.
Right?
Where did we go wrong?
Yeah. I believe Possum Sausage does flint napping. I know some other people do, but yeah, he sent me and I have a collection of flint napped arrowheads from him. So, but yeah, we went way off topic.
The show flows where the show flows.
Yep. But anyway, with that, I mean, it's 10 after. I think we can call that. I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I think so. I still got a crowd of people downstairs. So.
Yeah, you're busy. I don't know where the Adam's outro is.
Yeah, I still have not. I still, yeah, no. I'll get on it, but
Yeah. I've got it somewhere, but last time I looked, I couldn't find it. But anyway, it is Mother's Day, so get out there and play with your mothers. Teach them how to forge, or forge them something nice. I'm gonna go apologize to Jeannie because I didn't, get her anything. But anyway, guys, I hope to have at least a somewhat entertaining evening show. If this weather lets up, which I highly doubt it will. It's supposed to be for the next few days. I will be in my shop. If not, I will be here on the couch. And anybody who would like to hop onto video chat and show us their, work, I can put you front and center and relegate myself down to the little corner. So anybody, even if it's multiple people, I can oblige. Yeah, Ben Toombs, get your camera set up. You're on the show tonight. Earn that wrench. Anyway, guys, as you know, I'm Yamez with Island Metal Forge. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. All the socials. Here on Discord, all that stuff. And then we've got Transcendental Artist Studios. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm Sully. You can find me at Transcendental Artist Studios on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And our third cohort, or whatever you want to call him, Adam, you can find him at Speargrass Forge on YouTube and Instagram, and maybe even Facebook. I'm not really sure where Speargrass Forge is all at, because I've only got a few of those things. I'd just like to point out that even though, I don't think a lot of people take enough time to just sit and enjoy being. All right. A lot of people are always thinking about, I need a purpose. I need something to do. I need something to occupy my time. At the end of the evening, when you get done in the shop, say today you go out in the shop, you put on your safety equipment like I tell you to do every week. You light a fire, you forge something, and most importantly, you have fun. At the end of the day, when you put everything away and you're sitting there, kind of like for fire watching for a little while to make sure, while things cool down. Instead of busying yourself with this or that or the other, take a minute to just sit down and enjoy being. And that may sound weird, but it's an exercise in thought that I don't think a lot of humans do very often. We always try to occupy our thoughts with something substantial, and just sit there and say, it's pretty freaking great to be me, or it's great to be alive, or I don't know. I don't know how to tell you how to do that, but I can tell you. I can tell you, as somebody that as of late has enjoyed just being. I mean, it's really good at clearing your mind. So think about that when you get done in the shop tonight and you're doing fire watch, and maybe you're sucking down a cold wobbly pop, or soda water, or a nice cold bottle of water, and getting a little bit of relaxation time in. So y'all go out there, have fun, and enjoy being yourself. Take advantage of that while you can. Sully out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good sentiment. You guys have fun, and hearts and health, guys. Catch you later.